Hi everybody, it's David Fleming here from the Toronto Realty blog, and welcome to this week's Pick 5. Now I'm having what is referred to in the real estate industry as a day. Quotations, a day. Use it in a sentence, you say. Why? I will certainly. Hey Dave, how's it going? Oh, I'm having a day. Basically like that. It's crazy. And maybe it's because I went away for a week and I came back and there's twice as much to do. There's a lot of buyers, there's a lot of listings, and all the while, to be honest, people are telling me that it feels slow out there, which is very interesting because I see it as busy. I wrote a blog on Wednesday, which you should all read, which is essentially about the GTA. We're looking at all numbers across the board, not just Toronto, trying to compare the GTA numbers, which usually is what the media uses, to the city of Toronto proper. And last but not least, special announcement. This has nothing to do with anything. Guys, I did it. I finally stopped using plastic water bottles. Now, I'm not an environmentalist, and I'm not going to get all grandiose here, but I don't know, we're ruining the world. I mean, I don't know, is there going to be a world in 200 years? Well, certainly not with attitudes like mine. But a friend of mine at the office here just basically went on a rant one day and just said, it's ridiculous that you use plastic water bottles. And so, you know what? I fill this thing like 4 times a day and I have to pee every half hour, but I feel like at least I'm hydrated. So anyways, you know what? It's insignificant, and most of you watching this are like, you're a jerk because I never use plastic, or I've been using one of those for 5 years, but at least I did something I actually feel somewhat good about. Anyways, that has nothing to do with anything. You know what else has nothing to do with anything? Did you know that the guys in House of Pain are not Irish? Yeah, seriously. I'm planning a trip to Ireland in the fall to get in touch with my family roots. I was like, I am literally going to be playing Boom Shalakalak Boom over and over. And then I found out these guys are from like New Jersey or something. It was really disappointing. But back to real estate. Guys, this week I want to look at 3-bedroom townhouses. And 3-bedroom townhouses, not condominium, not a townhouse in the typical I'm attached to both sides variety. I have one of those right now for sale at Clinton. Not worth talking about that one. We're not talking about that. That's an 1890s Victorian. I've got one coming out in Withrow, on Withrow. See what I mean? It's been a day. In Riverdale, it's attached to both sides. We're not talking about that. We're talking about townhouse complexes that have been built specifically, and for these all in the last 10 years, let's say, to be, multi-unit, to be one big block and one sort of makeshift community. You know what I'm talking about. You've seen them before, and today we're going to take a look. Now, what's more interesting is we're actually doing like a pick 4 or a pick 7 today. We're going to look at 4 that are on the market and then 3 that are in pre-sales or assignments, just to kind of get familiar with the different pricing, because I think there's a ton of value in things that are either a little bit outside the city, a little bit older, or both. So first but foremost, let's put a little ordered list up here. I don't know which shoulder. I usually watch these after a couple drinks on Saturday night, and I'm like, wow, I hate the sound of my voice. So up above one of these shoulders, we're going to make a little bit of a list here. So what do we want to know with not condominium, Freudian slip there. What do we want to know with freehold townhouses? The very first point I'm going to make is, what is the fee? So if you see on MLS a property listed as a freehold, and it's a $700 a month fee, that's a condo. And agents will do this. It's sneaky, and I hate it, but they think, if I list it as a freehold, maybe I'll get more eyes on it. But it's not. It's an apple and an orange. You can't put a Ford on a Mercedes lot and then say, oh yeah, well, sort of the same thing. No. So we want to know if there's a fee. If so, how much is it? Now, a lot of these will have a monthly fee, which is insignificant, $150 a month, pays for, let's say, landscaping or snow shoveling. That's fine. Second of all, and this should probably be first, maybe we'll swap those, do a cool sound effect. Location. Location is always the most important, but a lot of these complexes are outside the core, and why wouldn't they be? They were built where there was lots of land. Maybe somebody land banked and tore down a bunch of stuff. Maybe there was a parking lot there. Maybe it was built on an old industrial site. But if we're looking in the city, downtown, nobody with a plot of land at, I don't know, Bay and Dundas is going to be like, I think I'll build a complex of 22 houses. No, it's not going to happen. So we're looking at the location because some of these are better than others. Third, I want to look at the flow. Okay, you can call that square footage if you want. I'm going to be looking at price per square foot. Hold off on that, actually. That'll be point number 4. We are going to be looking at the square footage, but I want to know, is anything below grade? How many sets of stairs are there? How many different levels are there? And what is the flow like? So point number 4, we're going to look at price per square foot. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. David, we don't look at price per square foot for freehold, and it's true, we don't. I get clients who come up from the States and they say, what's the price per square foot of like your average brownstone? brownstone. What they mean is a row house in the city. That's their brownstone. We literally do not use price per square foot unless it's for condo. And it is very strange to people from outside the city. The reason why, in a nutshell, would be the following. Who's calculating it, first of all? That's a good point, because usually a developer in a condo calculates it, and they're using inside the walls. They're basically looking for every single millimeter of measurement. So that's neither here nor there. If you don't like that, fine. Let's just move on to this. What do we do with basements? What if there's a 10-foot ceiling in a basement? What if there's a 5-foot ceiling? What if it's finished? What if it's unfinished? What about stairs? How many levels? And then we're talking about major differences between the finishings. Not to say that condos don't have different finishes, but you could say, well, $700 a square foot in there, it's pretty much the same little box, and it's a bit dated. $900 in there, yeah, it's nicer. We're talking about monumental differences. We're talking about spiral staircases. We're talking about, a little 2-bed, 2-bath, semi-detached piece of crap versus a massive mansion where the price per square foot could be astronomically different. So we do not use a price per square foot metric, and having said that, I'm going to use it today because I think it could shed some interesting light on these properties. Okay, we're 6 minutes in. We literally have not looked at any properties. So that list had 4 points. If there's anything more on there, I will add to it as we get going. Okay, so here's what we're going to look at today, guys. 4 properties, and I always love when it's spread nice across the city. We'll jump right into it here. 1077 Broadview. So 1077 Broadview is built in, was built in 2006. So we've got a 12-year-old townhouse. Now there are some of these, another complex that I don't really like, and that's because there's allowed to be, I guess, live work in there. These, see this picture right here? Okay? Ain't no barber shop in there, okay? There isn't any hairstylist in there. There are, oh boy, I'm off today. There are people in here, okay? And the townhouse complex that I believe is a little bit north of here on the, I want to say, west side, I looked at one and there's a nail salon next door, and then there's an accountant on the other side. And I think I did this in a pick 5. So these are built in 2006. And again, we're looking at all 3-bed, 3-bath. So the photos aren't great in here, obviously, and it's not staged. But again, trying to get a sense of the flow. So coming up from the street, and you've got a little bit of a foyer here, you're elevated. So you're not right next to ground level. Keeping in mind, Broadview is a very busy street, but you will get a little bit of noise transfer from here. Your kitchen is going to be the quietest part. See, there's a 3-person dining area there. So there's the couch, 4 weird pillows, none of them match, and they're sideways. These are just awful. Oh, well, lo and behold, it's one of those for sale by owners. We're friends, right? And you had to sign in to view this, so I think I can opine openly. This is why you don't list with one of those companies. To be fair, there's all kinds of agents charging 5% that do a worse job. But I mean, this is literally like, this is the person that says, I'm going to sell my house myself. And then they do, and it looks like this. This is really bad. I'm actually very proud of the work that I do on a regular basis at this very moment. Okay, so there is no dining room. That's the first thing that I notice here. You've got a massive couch, a kitchen. It's just awful, awful photos. And there's really no dining room. So now we're up. I think this is a joke. Just look at it. It's a joke. It's a joke. What is it? It's a joke. Okay, so different shots of the bed. So this angle and bango. There we go. Okay, enough mocking these. Oh, look, it's snowing out. It's been on the market 20 days. Was it snowing 20 days ago? It might have been. So master bedroom's a pretty decent size. There's no information on the listing. Well, there's measurements at least. So we have master and laundry on the second, and then we have the bedrooms upstairs. So I was hoping to get a sense of the layout here. See, old finishes, right? 10 years old. Showgirls light up top. But I doubt they have a floor plan. I can't get over how bad these photos are. I can't get over. Like, they took a photo. They didn't put this away. They didn't close this. This is what happens when people say, I'm going to sell it myself. I've never changed my own tire. I haven't. Now, if you're a man and you think that you're more manly because you've changed your own tire, I think that's incorrect and irresponsible. Are you a professional tire changer? No. So if you get a flat tire on the side of the highway, are you going to get out that stupid little jack that comes with the car, by the way? That's not the one that they're going to use in the shop. And are you going to climb underneath your car with this little thing like this and change your tire and hope it doesn't fall on you and kill you? You know where I'm going with that analogy. I don't change my own car tire on the side of the highway with a little jack and hope my car doesn't fall on me and these people should not be trying to sell their own property. It's crazy town to me. Okay, so these are the other 2 bedrooms. As you can see, I'm not putting a lot of effort in this because I want to get out of this property. Now we're back upstairs. I can't get a sense of the flow. It's really bizarre. And there's the garage. Ta-da! Okay, so there is no floor plan. Let me just zoom down here, guys, to try to give you an idea. Living, dining, kitchen, okay, master and laundry on the second, and then you've got 2 bedrooms upstairs. So they've got powder room on main, bathroom on second, bathroom on third. So that's fine. We know what we're getting into. We've got a 3-bed, 3-bath. You've got a 2-piece bathroom on the main, and then there's a master bath, and then for the Jack and Jill bedrooms. So it's a decent layout, right? We're looking at essentially, and the whole point of this townhouse exercise is, and maybe I should have said this from the beginning, they're all under $1 million or around that number, because I think there's one that's slightly higher. So you know what you get in the freehold market. It's very difficult to get in an area like this a 3-bed, 3-bath for $1 million. It would be next to impossible. A semi down the street is going to sell for 1.2. So what can you get this for? We're probably around 930, 940 in here, something like that. You've got 3-bed, you've got 3-bath. And the maintenance. We're looking at low maintenance on these things. It's not like a house where you're dealing with all of the nonsense, whether it's the physical property itself and the systems. I mean, some of them here, obviously, you're going to have to fix your own hot water tank if it conks out, but I'm talking about all of the things that has to do with a freehold property. This is a low maintenance property. Okay, so 1,540 square feet, $950,000. This is $617 a square foot. Do not compare that to condominiums. Again, we're just trying to get an average here. We're just trying to figure out what these things are going for. Now, at $950,000, let me show you my good friend. 1079 Broadview, sold next door. This is $930,000, let's say $879, different strategy. And this was sold in, I want to say, January. So sold in January. Now, let's see how this thing looks. Oh, it's the exact same floor plan. A staged condo with beautiful photos. Look at this. This is a great exercise. Look at this photo. So this one sold for $930,000 in January. The market maybe has moved a little bit. We've got $950,000. You can see here it's sold conditionally. I'm going to guess that it's probably somewhere $920, $930. Okay, let's move on here, guys, to 47 Ruby Lang Lane. I think I've done this in Pick 5 several times, but it's because I like this complex. So where are we? 47 Ruby Lang Lane. Now, we're right next to the Gardner, which sounds terrible, but if you zoom in here, you will see that we have 1 street, 2 street, 3 streets, 3 blocks of townhouses, and then Ruby Lang. You're not getting noise from the Gardner unless you are just crazy and can hear absolutely everything. So zoom out a little bit, and you can see we are in Etobicoke, and here is the Mimico GO station. So this will take you into Union. How far does it take you to walk down here? Maybe 10, 15 minutes. So if you go up to the Queensway, this is where there's a lot of action right now. There's a lot of cool restaurants that have popped up. Every time I do a video in this area, I get somebody that emails me that says, oh, you know, you're telling people that it's up and coming. It's already arrived. There you go. It's already arrived. You've got the Costco gas station where people will line up for an hour. I'm going to go off on a tangent here. Fast forward if you want to. People will line up for an hour to save $2. So look, just humor me here. Let me get out the Casio, okay? Still works. Wrote the grade 9 math exam with it in 1994. If you were to look at, say, $1.33, and then Costco's charging $1.27, that's 6 cents. And my tank, I think, is, what, 60 liters? Well, 6 times 6, I don't need to be a genius. Okay, you've got $3.60. $3.60 you're saving. People will line up for half an hour. That means you make $7.20 an hour. Most people make more than that because minimum wage is $14. Why do people line up to save on gas? Okay, so the property itself, guys, is a 3-bed plus 1 3-bath. This is 2009 built, so it's a little bit newer, and I think it shows. I've always been a fan of these. I have one client in these. I know this layout like the back of my hand. You walk in through the front door, there's a closet, and then there's a little room at the front. So they've taken us upstairs now. This is a bit confusing. Okay, so very nice living space. It's bigger than the one we just saw at Broadview. Dining room, kitchen. I'm just naming rooms, but I'm thinking visually. I love these townhouses. They're so good. The first one I ever sold, I think, was like $600,000. Recently, I put a couple in one of these. They've got 1 kid. It's absolutely perfect for them now. They paid $9 and change. Can't afford a $1.5 million house. Want out of the condo? This is perfect. It's 3 beds. You have a massive walk-in closet. You have your own bathroom. You have your own floor. You've got a guest room that's in the basement. It's awesome. I'm going to show you that in a minute. I'm really gushing here. There's the room at the basement. So it's so bizarre how these are all out of order, but I'm going to show you because I know this. You've got a kitchen island. You've got a space out back with a dining room table. I love this. I really, really love these. Okay, and there's your table. These photos are really out of order. I apologize on their behalf. So on the top level, you've got a huge master. That's a king, by the way, and you have all this room and all this room. And then you're going to walk out. Here we go. You're going to walk out to the bathroom. They skipped the closets in between. So you've got this lonely toilet in the corner because the bathroom's so big. Double sinks. You have a separate shower and tub. And that is the other bedroom. That's the other bedroom. These photos are all out of order. So you have, do they call this a two-car garage? Yes, they have a two-car garage. Okay, if there's a God, there will be a floor plan. No. Why is there no floor plan? That's so frustrating. You're just going to have to take my word for it. It's an awesome layout. And I talked about layout in the opening as one of my 4 points. This gets an A+ for layout. It's perfect. It has everything you want. See this +1? This +1 is the room on the lower level. So if you want to have a guest and you don't want anything to do with them, they're literally sleeping by the door downstairs. Then upstairs, living dining kitchen. Upstairs, 2 kids' bedrooms. Upstairs, 4 floors away you are from your guest, is your master suite. This is listed at $989, and it is a reasonable price because, oh, where do we go here? Because the last unit sold for, here you go, $970, and the one before, loading. You know what, guys? It might have froze because MLS sucks. The last one would have sold for, I believe, was $960. So we had a $960 and a $970. I'm closing this. Oh, there we go. So we had a $960 and $970. These guys are at $989. This looks cleaner. It looks better finished. The market in this area looks to be a little bit softer, so I don't know if they're going to get it and how quickly it'll move, but we will move on. Okay, so the next one here, guys, is 272B Bering Avenue, graciously listed for sale at $998,900. Now, this is a 3+1 and 2, which means it's very similar to the one we just saw, except, of course, it's missing the main floor powder room. So let me go to the map here to give you an idea of where it is. Similar area. This is in Norseman Heights before we were in Etobicoke. So Ruby Lang Lane was right down here, and here we're a little bit closer to Bloor, so there is a GO train here, and of course, let's zoom in a little bit. You can see Islington GO, Kipling GO, and I believe there's the link to the airport. Of course, who cares about a link to an airport? Let's be perfectly honest. Unless you work at the airport, I've never used it. I've never used it, although I did find it very strange that we did not connect our airport to public transit like every other city in the world. Somebody would get off, you know, a plane, and they'd be like, "Hello, mate. How do I catch the train to downtown?" You'd be like, "Oh, you don't catch a train. You pay a cab $70. Okay. So, right, 272B Bering. So let's take a look at the photos here, guys. This is going to show pretty well, I would assume, because this was built in 2008. Did I tell you the price per square foot for the last one? We're beyond that at this point. Notice that this feels identical to the one we just saw. It had this cutout here, it had this cutout here. That was the one that we were looking at that I really liked at Ruby Lang Lane. And then notice again, staircase goes up. We've got a table, we've got the kitchen. It is very, very similar. It's just missing that bathroom, and it's a bit smaller. Again, kitchen island, same kind of idea. You've got a deck out back. I'm gonna go through these a bit quicker, guys. So now we fly up to the top floor. They've got a queen, the other people had a king. Notice, exact same thing. The other people had a chair here. Here's your closets. Here's your bathroom. So this is almost identical. Almost. Same sad toilet, same double sink. The difference is this doesn't have that extra bathroom, the 2-piece. So there's the 2 bedrooms, and there's the den. There's the laundry, and there's the deck. And there you go. So I want to scroll down here to show you the layout. Main. Living, dining, kitchen. We've got bedrooms, second and third, and then laundry, and then you've got master up top. So see this office lower? This is the same thing. It's the same thing as what we just saw. The difference is it doesn't have that third bathroom. So $998,900. Let's take a look here at my comp. $1,018,000. $1,018,000 sold in April. Exact same thing. So it's interesting because, you know, we're splitting hairs here over the price, perhaps $1,018,000, and now we're $998,000. You're $20,000 less in a better market, because we are in a better market now. Prices have definitely moved since May. It's been on the market 27 days. So this is not a bad property. I personally prefer the one that I just showed you not just in terms of, well, I was going to say Ruby Lang. No, this is probably a better location. Ruby Lang, I much preferred that property. It was just better finishes, and you are paying for the finishes in here, but it was also the presence of that powder room to me made a big difference. So we are here, 1,896 square feet, priced at $527 a square, and if I remember correctly, our first property was $616. So I'm going to move on because there's one more we're going to look at here, guys. And that's 131 Florence. So now we're getting into a very cool area, a very popular area, an area, as you can see, of course, that has the train tracks backing onto it. But we are in Brockton Village. Well, you can see Brockton Village here. This says Little Portugal. But now we're actually in the city. So if I'm going to zoom out, here's our property. Where were we just looking? Over here in Etobicoke. This is why this thing is going to be more expensive. So I'll save you the suspense. This is 1,650 square feet, and that's $666 a square foot. So already we're way beyond. This was $527 a square. The first one was $616 a square. We're way, way beyond. But that's because of the location. They are also holding back offers on this. I don't think this should go over list. Offers accepted Tuesday, May 15th. But let's take a look at it. So same idea, 3-bed, 3-bath. This is a 1-car garage. The other one had a 2-car. And these were built in 2007. Oh, hello, drone footage. Very cool. So I will right away point out the fact that the other units had this staircase that was perpendicular. This has a long staircase, very, very narrow here. Yeah, really, really narrow. So this is the main floor. Come in through the front door, and you've got what looks like a living, and then this weird, I was going to say something swing, but I won't. You have a nice little hammock. So there's a shot of the floor of the bathroom. I don't know why that's there. There's a close-up of the stairs. So here's your living space. Again, very narrow because of the way the stairs are cut. So kitchen is long, does not have an island. Dining is in the kitchen. You do have a terrace, right? I don't pull my punches. You can always tell which one. I already tell which one I liked. So there's my barbecue, the Weber Genesis. Fantastic piece of machinery. They've covered the terrace. I would probably leave it open air. I think if you have a terrace and you want sunlight, why would you cover it up? See, I was right. Weber Genesis. And my wife. Sorry, babe. I'm busy. Okay, great shot of the awful backsplash. The door's open. Shot of the toilet. Spy camera in the corner of the room. Okay, I might have chosen a different photographer for these. So, awesome walk-in closet. Some of you guys are like, I'm sold. As you can tell, I don't like this one as much. But you have to remember that this is really about location. This is literally the nanny cam. Yeah, and there we go. Okay, so, mentioned the price. Where were we here? We were $666 a square foot, weird number. It's 14 feet wide. Some of these other ones were into the 15.5. It doesn't sound like a lot, but 1.5 feet when you're dealing with an 8-foot room and it's a 9.5-foot room makes a big difference. It's the difference between someone's chair basically touching the railing and not. So I really kind of prefer, let me go back here, Bering. I much prefer the one, again, that we saw in Ruby Lang, but while we were talking, my computer froze, MLS froze, and I had to restart, so I don't have that one there. So before we go here, guys, I wanted to show you the 3 that are newer. And I'm going to start here with going outside the downtown core, going further than what we would on the west side. We're going east now. We're going to Kingston and Birchmount. This thing's wild. $939 for, wait for it, 2,267 square feet. So we have, what is that per square foot? $414 a square foot. I mean, yes, you have to live at Birchmount and Kingston. But this thing is absolutely massive. Let me take a look at the floor plan. You know what? It's sideways and I don't feel like turning my head. If you're going to have a floor plan, first of all, clean it up a little bit. Okay, take off the handwriting. Get a better scan. See if you can get an original copy or, God forbid, something you found online. And then turn it the right way. Can you tell I'm crusty? I had a day. Okay, so now we're going to look at newer stuff in better areas because we want to see what these things are going for on a per square foot basis. Again, keeping in mind that we are not comparing this to condominiums. So 291 Gilmour Avenue. This is Dundas. This is in Roncesvalles. 12.5 feet wide, really snug. 36 feet deep. The other ones we looked at down at Ruby Lang and Bering were 50. Same 3-bed, 3-bath, but this thing, guys, is only 1,490 square feet. At $1,156,000, that's $776 a square foot. $776 a square foot. And we're talking, it's like literally a mess of papers in here, guys. We're talking Ruby Lang. Ruby Lang was $575 a square foot. That's the one I did not show you the price per square foot for. Okay, and last but not least, we've got another one here. This is 952 Dundas. So this is Dundas and Bolton, and it's in Leslieville. We're $1,198,000. and this is 1,625 square feet. So we are $737 a square foot. $737 a square. This isn't built. This is an assignment, so you're not even close. Let me click on this floor plan. Ah, very cool. Let's take a look at this. Okay. Whoa. A lot of levels happening. A lot of levels. All right. Work with me here, guys. Let's just go through this for fun, because my day hasn't been long enough. How do we get into this unit? Unit level 2. Level 2? Right. Okay. So we're walking in, I would assume, over here. Living, 4-person dining, kitchen. Staircase we're going up, and we have 2 small bedrooms up top. We've got a master, a little balcony you'll never use, and then an ensuite. And then you go up this level, and you get to the rooftop, where these 4 chairs are. Okay, it's not the worst, but I don't love it. Anyways, guys, thanks for putting up with me today. There was a lot of editing in here. MLS conked out a few times. Might add a couple of mental breakdowns. I'm not sure. I don't remember trying to block all that out. But when you are looking at your freehold property that you cannot afford, you can consider townhouses. You really can. It's a good style of living. If you're coming from a condo especially, and you really want low maintenance, these things are low maintenance. Some of these properties a little bit outside the core, $900 and change thousand for 3-bed, 3-bath. That's almost 2,000 square feet, where you have your own 3rd floor retreat. It's awesome. It's a really, really nice style of living. There's a lot of stairs. That'll keep that butt in shape. Anyways, guys, that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week. Bye for now.